it is sweet. Long time. Yes, I messed up. I should have been here all along, and I haven't. Well, I am back, so no worries. Yes, sweet is back, so you can join me. So today I will be doing a piece on, I will be talking about what's the topic here, guys? What is the topic? Why loyalty is rare today? Why people not loyal anymore? Why? I often want to answer that question, but a lot of things goes through my mind when I'm thinking about that. Honestly, I just can't stop thinking how people are not loyal anymore. Hmm. No, let us just hi, anybody in the room, welcome, welcome. My daughter suggested I go on this platform because I want to be monetized. What the word? Monetized. You have to stand for correction, right? And I'm in her room. Hi, hey, yeah, this is sweet. If you have never met me, guys, this is sweet. Yes, and I promise you, you're in good hands. Um, I've been thinking about loyalty a lot, right? Even when you're married to somebody, they're not loyal to you, and you wonder why. I believe even the more you give somebody things or you do for somebody, them still not loyal. But hear me out. Um, it's like an oxymoron. If you I believe the less you do to a person, the more they are loyal to you. Who believe in that? I absolutely believe in that. Because I remember story time. I like to tell stories. I remember once I had um my even in my own marriage, I did everything. Like I would buy the grocery. I would buy the take care of the kids. I would clean. My house always looked like a show home. Like, you know how when you go to the show home, everything is all just organized and neat, everything put back in the cupboard, everything. And my spouse wasn't loyal to me. I thought that the more you do is the more a person would be loyal, but that is not true. Nobody knows why a person is loyal. Some of them don't have a loyal blood inside of them. I often wonder if loyalty still exists today. And to be real honest, I say it is very rare. I think loyalty is often misunderstood for convenience. They mix them up. Convenience. Yes, it's true. You think people are loyal to you because you make everything so good for them. Honestly, you just hold a moment. Let me close that door because that guy, when he's talking, he has to talk. The entire house. When my husband speaks, the entire house listens to him. He's just, you hear him the whole time. He's just loud. Loud and him take over everything. I think he's deaf. He's going deaf, honestly. Anywho, let us come back to this. Because you know what? And the reason why I chose this topic today to talk about is because I want to be very clear, because a lot of people is not really understanding. Some of us, we believe that the more loyal we be to people or the more we give to people is the more loyal they're going to be. That is not true. Don't. And then some of you give because you want the loyalty, and you help and you help, and then you get frustrated after because the other party, the receiving party, is not giving you what you want. and you're not getting even any appreciation. You're not getting any loyalty. They're not going out of their way for you, even though you go out of your way for them. I'll tell you a story time again, right? Um, get somebody else in the chat so that we can talk here. Okay, not a story. So I remember years ago, a person was coming to Canada because, as you know, I'm living in Calgary, Alberta, and I lent them some money to put. Yeah, to I lent them some money to so that they could go to the embassy and come to the come to Canada to show the embassy that them can take care of themselves and whatnot. And and I'm telling the story just because it fit with the topic, not to bash the person or anything like that. I'm just telling because I don't know how to explain it other than this. But anyways, so they were coming, so I loaned them some money. They did pay me back, and they did even give me some interest on it, right? But the fact of the matter is I did lend them it was a lot of money at the time. This was like 15, 20 years ago, and it was a lot of money, right? It's like a lot. And anywho, they gave me back the money, and then everything worked out for them because they had to keep the money for 3 months in their account to show proof that they have enough money to finance themselves to come to Canada, right? So their family didn't help them with it because they didn't have it, and it's not like I gave them the money. I loaned them the money too. And that was a big deal because lending somebody a certain amount of money, you don't know if you're going to get the money back. You put yourself at risk of losing the money, right? So I felt like I was doing them a service, and at the time I didn't know that I would need something from them at a later date or anything like that, and I didn't expect anything from it. So years passed, like 10 years after, I wanted to buy an apartment, but because I already had a house, I was I was, I couldn't because I was in debt. I have too much debt, and my debt ratio was high, so I couldn't get a loan. And the apartment, this was back in about 5 years ago. I wanted to buy an apartment, and my debt ratio was high. So the person, they have, yeah, they work, they have finances and everything. So I make a suggestion to them. I said, listen, I want you to just help me buy a property, not with your money, with my money. I was going to put down $50,000 on the property. And then all I need is your signature. So the property was like 200, it was an apartment. It was $250,000. So I wanted to borrow, I think, 100. I think it was 180,000 I was gonna borrow. So obviously I was gonna put down more money on the property, like $70,000 on the property. So I wanted a mortgage for 100. And so the bank would have given me the money if I had somebody to co-sign with me. So what I did, I reached out to the person. I said to them, oh, I wanted to buy an apartment, da da da. Can you help me and whatnot? Not. That same person told me no. And they didn't even have the decency to communicate it to me verbally. It was sent to me in a text. Yeah. Now, I didn't expect it. I mean, years ago when I lent them the money, I never expect them to help me back. I never, but 10 years after, I wanted to help, because I help you. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be here, right? And you choose not to. So, so to me, they weren't loyal as how I was loyal. But listen, that doesn't mean that you're not going to help people because they're not loyal to you, right? I felt bad. And for years, I was like, I didn't talk to the person for a couple of years, to be real honest, because I was hurt. I'm like, and I even sent an email and said, or a text or something I did send. And I said, When you needed help, I was there for you. Oh, hi guys. I said when you needed help, I was there for you, but now I needed help. I gave you. Remember, they're not giving me any money. All they're doing is putting their signature down. And they wouldn't do it. But I gave them. The thing is, I'm showing you how loyalty is, but I gave you my money. And I'm telling you, this was about 20. Let us put a figure here. It would have been about like a 25,000 US. I gave you the money. And you couldn't even sign a signature for me. Plus, it's only a signature because you own half of my property, even though, you know what I mean? You would have owned half of my property because your name is on it. You know, you didn't put no money down. All you did was just put, yeah? You know what I mean? So, anywho, that was like, that blow my mind away. To this day, I'm still, I did recover from that, but I'm still like, I'm still troubled. I still question that. That's why I'm telling you, who you help is not going to help you. And that is why I'm saying that loyalty doesn't really exist, the word loyal. Nobody remembers anything you have done for them. And it's not really the people who you expect to help you is going to help you. Honestly, no. So that is why loyalty is often confused with convenience, right? So it was convenient at the time for the person for me to help them, but it's not convenient when I need help from them. Simple. There is no other way to say it, honestly. That's why you have to be careful what you do, how you do whatever you're doing. People will do and take you for granted. No matter what, they will use you and abuse you. Right? So that is why you have to practice no. You have to learn how to say no. Okay, you see, I guess now you see social media. Social media also um, replace loyalty. Hear me out. Like for example, you can go on a dating app. So focus on yourself first. Everything else will follow. Of course, yes, you have to focus on yourself, right? Right, you have to. Yeah, but the topic is loyalty. We are dealing with loyalty. How we know when people are loyal to us. You just can't. You just never know. Um, you would like a person and you love people, and somebody have a situation. I'm gonna give a story time again because I like to tell my stories with when I'm having discussion. I like to use stories so that it's very clear. Um, so listen, I'm pissed. At this point, I'm pissed. So somebody's going abroad. Yeah, they're going abroad to do something, to do some cosmetic surgery and whatnot, not. So I got myself involved. I did because I called up the person. They didn't tell me or anything. Somebody told me that they're going to do some cosmetic surgery, so I called them up. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? Da da da. Whatever, right? So I actually insert myself there. They never called me to tell me anything. I inserted myself there. So anywho, so I'm there and I'm talking to the person. So anyway, the conversation, they start to tell me, oh, you know that I'm going to Turkey. Yeah, I'm going to Turkey to do something. And I'm like, okay. I didn't know that. I knew, but they didn't know I know. I just called them, right? Because somebody was concerned. And so I inserted myself, called them, and then they share their story with me that they're going to Turkey. So while I'm there, while I'm talking to them, things happen. We're talking. So then after me say, okay, you go in and agree, yeah, you want to do whatever you want to do to make yourself feel better, go for it. But be careful. Make sure you know who you're going to, who those doctors are, and blah blah, whatever. So while that happened, a day passed, because I was the one who insert myself. A day passed, they called me up and they said to me, oh, them short. Them short some cash or short. Yeah, they're short. And so I felt bad because going all that way and then, you're short. I mean, I'm thinking about it. I'm saying, my God, how can you plan a trip to go somewhere and then you're short? That it doesn't, I couldn't understand it, but at the same time, people do weird things, right? So they asked me if me can lend them some money because the surgery was put off. And I'm like, I'm put into a situation now. Like, I felt bad because you go all the way. You're not going to, you're gonna lose your plane fare and whatnot. Not so. And plus, I inserted myself too because nobody tell me to call up the person. Because had I not called up the person, maybe who knows? They wouldn't even remember or even think of me. Anywho, long story short, I sent them the money. I lent them the money. I make it very clear this is a loan. So then, after, it's a loan. So after they did the surgery, whatever, after them come out of the surgery, they never even called me and says, I'm out of the surgery. Everything went well. Nothing. How I know? I call up the person who first told me about this and said, oh, did you hear from the person? Yes. Except I didn't hear. Now, look at that. It's me put myself there, right? I felt bad. I felt horrible. I'm like, at least call me up and say, I did the surgery. I'm okay. Everything went well. I'm returning home. They are on their way back home. Never even heard. I wasn't the first. The thing is, I wasn't the first person on their mind. No loyalty. But I have loyalty to people. I don't know why I keep putting myself into these situations. Right? You think loyalty is about feeling? Or is loyalty about friends? Like our value? Sometimes I have to question myself. Is loyalty about feelings or loyalty is about value? That is what I have to ask myself sometimes because now, why did I do what I did? And then I just feel horrible after. Why? I don't know. Why did I do what I did? I did it because I felt bad for the person. They go all the way and they don't have the money. And then I just feel like I'm going to save the day, right? I've never lent that person money before, but I just felt like, oh my God, it's going to let them feel better because for them to fly all the way from the state to Turkey, it must mean something to them, right? It must mean something to them, but it never mean anything to me. I mean, yes, it did mean something to me because I felt like, okay. And then my husband was like, it's not your problem. It's not your problem. That's what he said to me. It's not your problem. Right. Now, I'm going to show you what a loyal person or a loyal friendship look like. Right? Loyal come from integrity. Remember that. Loyal come from integrity. That means in the honesty. That it means standing by someone even when others criticize them. It means protecting the person who are not in the room. That is loyalty. Right? A loyal person defend you when you are not in that room. And this is how I have this one friend named Roberta. And I kid you not. She's loyal to me. I don't have to be in the room. But if you speak any ways about me, she's going to defend me. She says, no, no, she's going to defend me. We've been friends for about 15 years. And she's going to defend me no matter what. She's going to defend me. She's going to defend me. I'm going to tell you how I know. So, story time again, because I like to pair these with story. So I had a friend, so I still have her as a friend. Anyway, so I was in a conversation with this guy because I was going through some shit at work. And he's a lawyer. Well, he's a ex-lawyer, you would say. He was practicing and then he was disbarred. But because he was disbarred doesn't mean that he doesn't know anything. He have a lot of knowledge. So because he was disbarred, somebody disbarred him, right? One of his colleague. So anywho, an incident happened to me at work, and I was in a situation at work, and so what happened is that I filed a breach of confidentiality on a co-worker. She was my manager, and she break some protocol. And so I filed and reported it. So anywho, so when I was talking to the guy who was he's disbarred, obviously this is a pet peeve for him. I didn't know what happened, why he was disbarred, but obviously he did something wrong, and somebody filed it on him. The same thing like I did, somebody did that to him. So he just lost it when I told him about what I did. The guy wasn't having it. Him start to hate. Him not want to hear it because it's a sore spot for him. So anywho, he start to cuss and go on and treat me like shit. So my friend was there. And my friend said to him, which the same girl, my friend, I tell you, she defend me down to the T. He tries to get her to go against me. And then she said to him, no, I'm not. You are my friend. Sweet is my friend. So therefore, I am not. And Sweet is more my friend. And he tried to get her. It's almost like if something goes wrong, people want people on their side and then want people to appease them and or agree with them. And she wouldn't do it. She says no, because I see she did nothing wrong. You're a lawyer and you said you will talk to her. She don't have no idea why they disbarred you. So therefore it's a pet peeve for you. So therefore I am not going to stand by you. You're rude. And she tell him. She said, no, you're rude, and I'm not going to sit here and let you treat my friend like that. Because was a white guy, right? And he was like being racist towards me also. And she was there down to the T. She defended me knowing she could lose his friendship because she had a friendship with him because he's a lawyer and she always often asked him, his opinions. And that is why I was introduced to him, because I wanted his knowledge. I want knowledge from him. And that was like, he didn't know what I did, right, at work. And that's what I did. I did file a breach of confidentiality on a staff. And they didn't, you did something wrong. The fact of the matter is, just because you're my coworker, you did something wrong. It is wrong. And I did file, right? Yes, I could have let it go, but I didn't. I choose not to. My problem. Yeah, I faced a lot of racism in my life because if you're in a predominantly white country, right? I've been in Canada for a long time, and I'm not in Toronto. I'm in Alberta, right? And I've been here for 20, almost 27 years. So, I mean, and I don't take shit from people, right? And I'm not invisible either. I am not invisible. I'm very much present when I'm around. That doesn't mean that I'm ignorant or I am arrogant or I'm aggressive or anything like that. But people tend to want to prey on you if they see that you have any form of weaknesses. I can tell you that. So, anywho, so that was that. That was that. So that is what loyalty look like. Somebody who will defend you no matter what, even if it's going to cost them. That is what loyalty look like. Right? And I know some of you don't your parents is not going to be loyal to lots of people. Yeah, you have people, your family member aren't loyal to you. Your friend aren't loyal to you. And I hear a lot of people talk about it. I watch a lot of social media, like a little reel and shorts, and people give out, people are discussing. And I've come across a video where people are saying they do this for somebody, and when the time come for that same person to help them, they're not judging, they're not going to help you. So I've always said, if you're going to help somebody, never you go into it thinking that that person is going to be the one to save you. No, it's always them. They're the last person that will save you. You do it because you want to do it, and because you feel the need to help. But never you do it because you feel that that person is going to help you out. No, that person isn't that. No, I don't think so. You do it not because you're wanting something back. No, never. Never go into it like that. So I'm gonna done this by saying, choose your friends. Choose your friend. You have to choose your friends. Just because somebody wants to be a friend, that doesn't mean they're loyal, or that doesn't mean that they're going to be a true friend. And that doesn't mean that they are going to defend you in a room. And that doesn't mean that if something happened to you, you can call on them. No, doesn't mean like that. Maybe you have friends that is a good time Charlie friend. They like to have conversation with you. That's the kind of friend. But it's not really your friend, true friend. A friend in need is a friend indeed. And it's the same thing with loyalty. So to me, it comes hand in hand. And then somebody remember that you did something for you, and they will do anything possible to help you out. And that's how it is. Right? So therefore, loyalty comes with timing, and loyalty comes with character. Loyalty comes with just the person, the way the person was brought up to. Yeah, the way they were brought up, it's a big thing. Because if that person ever have anybody standing up for them in their life, you think they're going to stand up for anybody? They weren't trained that way. They don't understand. They do not understand what loyalty is. They do not understand what being a friend is. They don't. So you have a lot of people walking around, they say you're your friend. No, they're not. They're your good time Charlie, or they're just for convenience. Even though sometimes your spouse or your partner at home, as soon as the shit hit the fan, they're out of there. As soon as they get what they want, they're gone. As soon as some of them life is stable, they're gone. Them use you up for a while. But you can never know. This is life. This is journey. This is what journey is. You can never pick and pick. Because sometimes you pick them, right? Story time again. How can you have a husband And your husband, you give him everything. You give everything when he has nothing. You give him everything. You would lay your life down for him. And yet him turn around and stab you in your back. Yeah, and some of them not only just stab you in your back, they turn it. Like, have you ever gotten a cut yet? And then like the splinter in there, you try to pick it out, and when you turn it a certain way, the pain is worsened. At the same thing they do to you. They would stab you in the back. That's okay. But some of them stab you in the back and turn it. They don't have no loyalty. And you don't expect, and you know what? And if you had the knowledge, but age come with wisdom, right? If you have the knowledge, you could avoid some of these people. You could have. Help people. Exactly. You help people. I see the comment. You help people with no expectation. None, none, none at all. Because what you give is going to come back from somebody else, not that person. And I'm just saying, I mean, there is always exception to the rules where you have people who remember what you have done for them and they will be forever grateful. And I mean, let us clap for those people. But you have some of them, oh my God, you could help them and put them in your house for 6 months. And then the moment you tell them, okay, it's time to leave, like 6 months and 1 day, they behave as if you have never done anything for them. Just saying. I mean, you must have experienced it one way or another, right? You're at school, you have your girlfriend, and when you need her the most, she's not there, right? When she's supposed to defend you, they're not there. Or couple months ago, it's about a year ago, I saw this girl. She went to, I believe, they went abroad. She was the only black girl in the group, and she went there, and certain amount of racism was going towards her. And she have all her friends, and none of them came to her defense. They stood there and watched the incident happen and did nothing about it. This is what I'm going to leave you with. Know who is in your corner. Sometimes you need to close your mouth, sit back and observe. And if you observe, you will see. You will see. Right? Listen. That is why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Sometimes when people speak, you need to listen. So we see red flag all the time, but we just don't take heed. We just go in full force. When we meet people, you want a good friend. So because you want a friend, you go in and you would do anything for that friend. But the truth of the matter is they wouldn't do it for you. And so when you're doing something for them, you have to say to yourself, okay, whether this person do it for me or not, it's not a big deal. I'm doing it because I want to do it. And I'm not going to get upset. Because this is where resentment come in. You get upset after. Very upset, right? Because me, I was upset. I mean, the story that I told earlier, I was very upset. Like, I lent you, I give you my money, and all I'm asking you for is a signature, and you couldn't even give me the signature. Now, yeah, what if I was asking you for money? And I was upset, I was pissed, I was annoyed. I was like, ah, I couldn't breathe. I was hyperventilating. I felt horribly, yeah. And I felt like if I could take back what I have done, I would have. At the time, that's how I felt. But then I come to live with it to know that, listen, people are not going to see you the same way you see them. And that's okay. Anyhow, guys, that is my little pep talk for today. Join me again. Share this video because I'm sure somebody would love to see this video. I want to get my my watch time up I wanna monetize on YouTube, so I would appreciate that a lot. Until next time.